Well, the fallout from Russian President Vladimir Putin's call for a partial mobilization of reserve troops continues. The deeply unpopular move sparked rare protests across the country, leading to almost 1,200 arrests. Police in heavy armor tackled demonstrators, removing some as they shouted no to war. Some Russians even scrambled to buy one-way tickets to flee the country as the announcement raised fears that men of fighting age would not be allowed to leave. And in a surprise move, Russia and Ukraine carried out a prisoner swap with nearly 300 people, the largest since the invasion began 7 months ago. It also included prisoners from countries like the U.S., the U.K., and Morocco. Meanwhile, China called on the countries to initiate a, quote, ceasefire through dialogue. The country has refused to condemn Russia's invasion, but it has said that it supports Ukraine's sovereignty. All right, so now to talk about much of this, we are joined now by General Peter Zwack. He is a retired U.S. Army Brigadier General. He's also a Wilson Center Global Fellow at the Keenan Institute, an organization that specializes in research on Russia and other parts of Europe and Asia. Thank you so much. So a lot has happened really in the past 24 hours. I'm going to start with the most recent revelation, the news of this prisoner swap. We're talking about a lot of people, more Ukrainians actually than Russians, though a key Russian ally was included in this swap. Many people were probably surprised that less than 24 hours after hearing Vladimir Putin's speech, this news of this prisoner swap emerged. How should we interpret this?
Good morning. Yeah, this is the Byzantine nature of the relationship and the inner, how they are as they're fighting hard fight that the societies in some ways are interlaced. Yes, the first one, we had the 10 hostages, prisoners released in Riyadh just now, and the Saudi Crown Prince was huge behind that. That is significant, and this is just going on with all the bad narrative and rhetoric going on between us and the Russians, and then this, as you cite, this other unusual prisoner swap. 200 plus Ukrainian soldiers from the Azovstal factory battle in Mariupol, and these are the people that fought heroically for almost 2 months. But the Russians would call that they were fascists, but they're not. They're fighters. And in return, 55 troops, including the politician Ukrainian close to Putin, Viktor Medvedchuk, who was arrested in April. That was very significant. It shows how valuable Medvedchuk was, if you will, to Putin and the Russian regime.
And now let's talk about Putin's announcement of a partial mobilization of reserve troops. I heard some reports saying that one-way tickets to Turkey shot up like 3 times the regular amount because people are concerned that a partial mobilization could possibly lead to a full mobilization. What does this tell us about where the Russian military is at? Do they just need more bodies, or do they need more bodies that are trained to fight?
It's a great question. And as a former soldier, it's one thing to work to generate 300,000 new, if you will, or current soldiers. Now, a lot of them are veterans and have experience from long past, but they haven't been training. They're probably out of shape, and they probably don't want to go to this war, almost assuredly, because bad news is trickling into Russia from the wounded and maimed and the families whose soldiers have died. This is bad. So this will be hard. And you get 300, you've got to train them, you've got to pull them in, you've got to train them, you've got to equip them, and then put them in units and send them in. That doesn't happen magically or overnight. That will take months, and it'll be a trickle rather than a flood. They won't all come in at one time. Still, it is a major increase. It's more than the whole group that went in on the first night of 24 February. And then they'll come up against a seasoned, tough and absolutely determined Ukrainian defense, which will make it really, really hard for them. That's why you have the protests in the Russian streets. This, I think, is going to create huge problems for the Putin regime. It happened, there were protests on the night of 24, 25 February at the beginning of the war, but this is different because the nature of this awful, bloody war and how it's impinging on Russian society is really, really coming out. And so this will be hard to do.
It will be, yeah. So, in his speech yesterday, I sort of identified kind of three buckets, right? He talked about increase in troops, 300,000 more troops. He talked about the referendums, the votes on becoming part of Russia in certain areas of Ukraine that, most experts say these are going to be fraudulent votes. It's sort of a show election. And then he issued this sort of veiled nuclear threat. He knows what President Biden said, which is no one wins when we're talking about a nuclear threat. What's the strategy behind this?
I think the strategy, first and foremost, is messaging. And Putin has done this in different ways over the last few years. But at this time, it's particularly strident. I think it's basically, don't forget, we've got nukes, and that is trying to put everybody in its back heel. I think it was more effective in February and March, but it's something that one has to take care of and credence of, because I think the walls are beginning to come in around Putin and his regime. They're beginning to feel beleaguered domestically while the war goes badly. We have the protests in the street, 1,300 arrested yesterday, last night, mostly in Moscow and St. Petersburg. That may mute the initial protests, but no, this isn't going to go well. That 300,000 is not going to come from the provinces only now. It's going to come from the cities. It's going to involve mainstream Russian between 18 and 65 years old. And this is just going to increase and be dangerous. But the nuclear aspect is we have to be mindful. We need to be careful. But at the same point, we can't allow the Russians they say we bluff, to bluff us. Be smart. Don't attack into Russia. And the referendums give them a justification of bringing in these four so-called regions into Russia. And then they say, okay, Ukraine, American NATO-backed Ukraine, you're attacking now, not into the new provinces. These are Russian provinces, and we're going to up the stakes. And it's intimidation.
It's intimidation. General Peter Zwack, thank you very much.
Always.